I accidentally set my date's hair on fire. It was supposed to be a romantic first date. I had meticulously planned everything. A cozy Italian restaurant with candlelight, soft music, and the perfect ambiance. What could possibly go wrong? We were seated at a small, intimate table with one of those fancy candle centerpieces. My date, Emily, looked stunning, her long wavy hair falling effortlessly over her shoulders. I was determined to make a great impression, but nerves had me fumbling over my words like I was auditioning for a comedy sketch. As we chatted and laughed, the ambience of the cozy Italian restaurant enveloped us. The warm lighting and the soft hum of conversations created the perfect backdrop for our evening. I noticed Emily leaning forward, animatedly describing her favorite vacation spot. Her eyes sparkled with excitement as she recounted the beautiful beaches and the vibrant culture. That's when I saw it, the tiniest wisp of smoke curling up from her hair. It was so subtle at first that I almost thought I was imagining it. My brain froze for a solid 3 seconds before I realized what was happening. The shock was so intense that it felt like time had slowed down. Her hair was dangerously close to the candle flame. Emily? I managed to stammer, my voice barely above a whisper. I stammered, but she was too engrossed in her story to notice. She continued talking, completely oblivious to the impending danger. The wisp of smoke turned into a small but very real flame. Panic surged through me as I realized the gravity of the situation. Without thinking, I grabbed my napkin and flailed at her hair like I was swatting a bee. "Your hair! Fire! Fire!" I shouted, my voice rising in pitch. I yelled, loud enough to make the entire restaurant turn and stare. The sudden commotion drew everyone's attention, and the room fell silent. Emily froze, wide-eyed, as I continued my frantic attempts to put out the flame. Her expression was a mix of confusion and fear. Finally, a waiter rushed over with a glass of water and doused the fire before it got out of control. Relief washed over me as the flames were extinguished, and the restaurant slowly returned to its lively atmosphere. The aftermath? A singed section of her gorgeous hair, a sight that was both shocking and slightly comical. The smell of burnt hair wafted through the restaurant, causing heads to turn and noses to wrinkle in disgust. The mood was officially dead. What was supposed to be a romantic evening had turned into an embarrassing disaster. I apologized 1,000 times, mortified beyond belief, my face flushed with embarrassment. Emily, to her credit, was surprisingly calm. She took it all in stride, her composure unshaken. "Well," she said with a smirk, "this is definitely the hottest date I've ever been on." Her humor was a welcome relief. We laughed, albeit awkwardly, and tried to salvage the evening. The tension slowly began to ease. The restaurant comped our meal, likely as a bribe to keep us from suing. It was a small consolation for the chaos. Though we ended the night on a somewhat good note, it was clear that the evening had taken a toll on both of us. There wasn't a second date. The awkwardness was just too much to overcome. I can't blame her. I wouldn't go out with me again either after that. The whole situation was just too embarrassing. To this day, anytime someone mentions candles, I cringe. It's a reminder of that fateful night. Lesson learned. Romantic candlelight can quickly turn into a disaster if you're not careful. It's not always as magical as it seems. And maybe stick to LED lights for dates. They're safer and less likely to cause any unexpected drama.